let's have a look inside, see what I've done there. So as you can see in the back, I have opened the back wall for the window frames to be installed. There's a whole lot of natural light coming in the house now. It's really nice. I have at the same time also started with the planks of the loft. Installed about 50% of the planks of the loft. The planks were quite humid, so they needed some time to dry, and they would shrink a bit, so just giving them a week to acclimatize. But yeah, slowly it's coming together. I have installed a lantau above those windows, and just this morning I have released the tension in the metal post. So the lantau is now doing its work, carrying the roof, half of the roof. The only difference that I had here is that I'm not rebuilding the wall like I did on the other side with the concrete blocks. I don't think there's a need to, because the post in the middle of the two windows is about twice the width, the size of the post on the other side. So I think that'll carry the weight easily. That wall is structurally sound as far as I can see, but I do have one problem, and that is the bottom side of the wall is really humid, and that is caused by the fact that on the outside there was a large heap of dirt against the wall with a tree growing. If you remember, there was a tree growing here. I chopped it off first, and then later I had to dig out the stump. There's a stump with the roots and everything, and I dug down a trench as deep as the concrete floor goes in the house, so that the wall is free of dirt and free of moisture containing dirt. I mean, obviously the big pile of dirt would contain moisture, helped by the tree that was growing there with all the roots carrying the moisture up from the ground, and because of that the whole wall has been soaked through with moisture, and I can still see it on the inside. The wall is still moist, so I'm not going to render this wall. I think it is structurally sound. I've tapped on it and everything. I think the bonding between blocks, bricks and cement is still intact, but the moisture has traveled through the bricks and it's on the inside. I'm going to wait with the rendering of this wall until I'm confident that these bricks are dry. Another difference I had on this wall installing the lantau is that there was quite a gap between the wall plate and the lantau. As you see, in some places it's like 8 millimeter, almost a centimeter of a gap, just because either the lantau is not completely straight or the wall plate is not completely straight. Well, you have that, you know. So what I've done in order to make sure that the wall plate is resting on the lantau, making contact, I have inserted this epoxy vinylester epoxy putty. This is actually not meant for this job. This is when you have a hole in concrete or in brick or in stone, you can squirt it in. You can twist a screw in there, and once this goes off, you won't get the screw out anymore. It's really to repair holes in bricks, in concrete, in stone, natural stone. That's what this stuff is for. It's not to be bonded on wood and for this purpose, but a characteristic of this stuff is that it doesn't shrink when it goes off. Cement shrinks when it goes off. When the water vaporizes out of the wet cement, then cement shrinks, and I can't have that. I needed to have a safe bedding for the wall plate and to fill up that void space between the lantau and the wall plate with a material that, you know, doesn't shrink. So I squirted 2.5 of these cartridges in between, and that has gone off. That is super hard, and it basically just forms a bedding on top of the lantau. So the wall plate rests on the epoxy putty, which rests on the lantau, and that makes sure that the wall plate doesn't sink in and until it rests on the lantau. So yeah, that's just another use of that product. It was just there are more products available, I'm sure, epoxy based products that don't shrink when they go off, but this is what I had. And it's not cheap. A tube like that is 10-15 euros, but it does the job. I've just released the tension in the stanchions, so it's all now resting as it should be, and I can now proceed installing the window frames. So yeah, quite a bit has been done, but we're definitely not there yet. There's still a lot to be done. Today I will go and collect the wood for the roof, for the ceiling. So I already have the polystyrene insulation. I think tomorrow I'm going to start cutting the polystyrene to size and installing it in the ceiling, and then installing at least part of the ceiling wood. So yeah, it's gonna make a big difference. That'll really go and make a big difference. But you see, this I've got no lights burning now. This is just natural light coming in, and that's already really cool. After all these walls are being rendered and white, and the ceiling is in place, and all the wood has been painted white, it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be nice. You won't need to have a light on here during the day. It's really cool. I've also installed part of fascia boards here. As you can see, this is how it was with these supporting blocks in between the horizontal beams, tying everything together, tying the rafters together with the beams, and providing extra support on the wall plate. And I have cut these fascia boards to size. I'm going to finish them off neatly, and they're going to be painted, so then the whole roof will become one once everything is painted white. The inside. I've rendered the inside of that wall completely now. It needs a second coat. Yeah, that's what I've been doing so far. You know, I'm not going to repeat filming things that I have already filmed and explained and shown you. That's just a waste of time. And yeah, I'll just give you an update where I go. Okay, I'm going to install the window frames now. That's going to be very cool. So what I'm doing is I cut the openings for the window frames, and because these are hollow building blocks, I have sealed the edges off with cement. I've placed now the window frames in the openings, and I've drilled 2 holes in the window frames up, and I am screwing the window frames into the lintel, and this is not really a structural connection. It's more that I want to have it in the right position, and then I will glue the window frames in place with a very thick kind of glue. I'm just using those screws to adjust the window frame and get it all exactly level in place. The window frames, they need to be 100% level, otherwise the windows itself will swing open by themselves, or you can't leave them in a certain position. So this needs to be level in all directions, and with these screws I do that, and then I put a wedge underneath and I sort of wedge it in without putting too much force on it, because I don't want to deflect the window frame. I don't want it to be in its original exactly square shape, otherwise the windows will not fit later. So yeah, I wedge it into place, and then I will seal it off in some places, glue it to the wall in a few spots, let that glue set, then put the windows in position, make sure they can open and close freely. And if they can do that, then I can completely seal everything off and glue everything in place. Yeah, I've learned from the other windows. I have not removed the hinges on these. I have just varnished around them, because yeah, that cost me a lot of time figuring out how deep the hinges need to be screwed in order for the windows to shut on the other side. So I've learned from my mistakes, and that's what you gotta do. Just wanted to tell you, because I'm working with my own two hands. I got no help. You gotta really plan and think before you do things. And one way is how to set up these metal stanchions just with one hand. For example, I have this big beam screwed into the horizontal beams in order to provide lift, equal lift to every horizontal beam, with just 3 stanchions. But how do you get that plank up? Sorry, I've got to interrupt here. What I have done is I have positioned a plank underneath the horizontal beams at a 90-degree angle, and that plank is supported by the metal stanchions. So the metal stanchions support the plank, which in its turn supports the horizontal beams. With just 2 hands, the heavy plank. And I bought this tripod thing, couldn't find it, found it online, but eventually I found it in one of the shops where I buy my tools. They had accidentally ordered it, didn't know what to do with it because nobody wanted it, and I saw it and I said, that's exactly what I need. It's a little tripod that turns one of those stanchions into a tripod, so it will stand unassisted. This really has been a lifesaver, because now this tension will stand unassisted. I can unscrew, I can put tension onto the stand so that this plank here is supported while I unscrew it. And then slowly I will release this while I can support this plank with my hands. So yeah, that's been a real good investment. Sorry guys, sorry for the interruption, but I have something to say. You're watching now a re-edited, reconditioned episode of This Old French House. The episode that you're watching right now happened in the past. In fact, the house that we are rebuilding is basically finished right now and it is up for sale. Yeah, unfortunately we have to sell it. Nadia and I have other plans. We are going to move to Nadia's mother country on the other side of the world. We can't have two houses at this moment. So yeah, the house is up for sale, and you know what? I really want you to buy it. The viewers of this channel should buy it. Not somebody who's never seen this channel before. So please see my email address below. If you want to have more information, write me a short email and I'll send you all the information you need to make an informed decision. Or an appointment to come by and have a look at the house. Thank you guys. Back to the video. Yeah, I paid 45 euros for that tripod, but it's worth every penny. It's one of the better investments. Yesterday I put the frames in place and I glued them in at 4 points per frame or so, not all the way, because if for whatever reason the windows don't fit, I need to remove the frame and cut it out. So I did not permanently install it yet. The other window where the doors went in real easy, because this time I did not remove those hinges before varnishing the frame. And also I made very clear which windows go in which frame. I marked them, so I know exactly that this window belongs to this frame. That also helped. But this window still has a little bit of a problem closing. Let's see if we put the other door in. What happens? Yeah, quite similar problem. But the strange thing is that when I did the other window frames, they were also not closing 100%. They were not 100% correct. And I figured, you know what, let's put them in, and then later I can adjust. I can take a little bit of the wood off, or I can adjust. But that wasn't necessary, because a day or two later, when I tried to open the windows, they worked perfectly fine. So that may be the case with this one as well. I'm going to put them in permanently. and then later figure out what it was. It's not a major issue. And I know I haven't done anything wrong, because the other window, it works perfectly fine. I know I have the right frame with the right doors. I know that the hinges are exactly as they were. So this must be a minor thing that either rectifies itself, or I can adjust later. Yeah, I'm gonna put them in permanently now. Good morning, YouTube friends. Another beautiful day. Hopefully. Nah, it's gonna be a beautiful day. Right, what have we done? We have installed these two windows, and the gaps between the building blocks, the bricks, and the window where they were too large, I had to fill up, like here. I have finished these edges with cement because these building blocks are hollow. So I've really worked the cement into the cavities and straightened them off. And then I've applied this, yeah, what is it called? Reno Plus Show. It's sold to me as sort of a primer before you start rendering. But I think it's a normal rendering, a normal yeah, high quality modern rendering. It works like a dream. It's just like butter. It's like sort of a whipped cream that you work on. It sticks immediately. You can shape it. You can reshape it. Even when it's completely cured, you can still sand it and model it. It's just really great. And eventually the lime rendering will really stick on it. So everywhere where I've had to fill gaps with cement, with normal Portland cement, I've rendered it over with that Reno Plus show rendering, lime rendering, because the lime rendering will not stick to new cement. So yeah, I've built up this ledge, as you can see. I filled up some holes that were left. And I still got to do a lot more. Between every coating there's 24-hour drying time, so that's gonna be completed over the course of a number of days, but that's okay. The windows are there and they open and close perfectly fine, so I'm really pleased with that. In the meantime, what's also going to take a few days is the drying out of this wall underneath that pile of wood, well actually behind it. I'm going to give it days to dry out before I render that. Well, I don't need to render that right now because there's plenty of other stuff to do. That, for example, is finishing off this side of the ceiling. I have, as you can see, installed the foam, the, what is it called, polystyrene insulation. That's 7 centimeter thick polystyrene insulation, and I have filled the gaps with an expanding foam. Now, if you're not aware of this or familiar with the product, this expanding foam you can buy in